So, you've been sent to a DBT therapist because nobody else knew what to do. Your emotions are too intense, your relationships feel impossible, and therapist told you it must be borderline personality disorder. But what if they were wrong? What if it's autism? I've seen this several times in my therapy practice. People show up to therapy thinking they have borderline personality disorder because of emotional dysregulation, but only to find out later that autism was the real diagnosis. So, emotional dysregulation is one of the biggest reasons autism can be misdiagnosed as BPD. Both BPD and autism can involve absolutely overwhelming emotions, but these emotions come from very different places. Think about BPD as kind of an emotional whiplash based on relationships. Your emotions feel out of control because of how others treat you. If someone ignores your text, you can really rapidly spiral. And if they reassure you, you can feel on top of the world. Sometimes your identity may shift based on who you're around, and your emotions can change in minutes to hours. Now, on the other hand, let's look at autism as emotional overload from the environment. Your emotions can feel overwhelming because the world is overwhelming. Too much noise, too much unpredictability, too much sound, too much social effort. You don't change your identity. It just kind of feels like people don't get you. Your emotions build up over time, and this can lead to shutdowns or meltdowns. So, if your emotions are unstable because of how other people treat you, that's more like BPD. If they explode due to overwhelm from noise, change, or social confusion, that's more like autism. And this is why a full psychiatric assessment is so important. Because remember, the right diagnosis is very important in finding the right treatment. Let's take a look at how it can actually feel to kind of experience the world in this way. So, with BPD, it is like a playlist on shuffle and you can't control it. One moment it is a love song and you are full of all the beautiful feels. The next, it is a heartbreak anthem and you're falling apart. You never know what mood is coming next, and you don't have any control over the skip button. On the other hand, with autism, the world feels too loud, too fast, and impossible to read. It's like walking into a room where everyone knows the rules but you, and the lights are too bright, the sounds are way too sharp, and you're already exhausted before you've even been there for even a minute. So let's take a look at the key features of each diagnosis broken down bit by bit. So BPD is going to be on this side, autism is going to be on this side. Let's talk about reactions to emotions. For BPD, I feel too much too fast. And for autism, I don't always know how I feel. What about social struggles? For BPD, we have fear of abandonment, unstable relationships. And for autism, we have difficulty understanding social cues and expectations. The main cause of distress for BPD can be feeling rejected, ignored, or misunderstood. For autism, we've got sensory overload, unexpected changes, and social exhaustion. What about reactions to being overwhelmed by emotion? Well, for BPD, we've got impulsive decisions and emotional outbursts. And for autism, we can have meltdowns, shutdowns, and avoiding social situations. Now, what about our best therapy approach? For BPD, the gold standard is considered dialectical behavior therapy because it's been so extensively researched. For autism, you'll often receive recommendations of cognitive behavioral therapy, occupational therapy, or learning sensory regulation strategies. But one thing I want to bring up, many Therapists who specialize in DBT, who work with folks with autism, have even started specialized skills training groups just for folks who are neurodivergent. It can be really great to learn skills together and learn to apply them together with somebody else who's meeting your same struggles over and over. Can really help you feel much more understood. And it can help you build different strategies. So, does it have to be either or can you have both autism and BPD? Yes, absolutely, that can happen. And in fact, many autistic individuals, especially women, are first diagnosed with BPD before receiving an autism diagnosis later in life. But what does autism plus BPD look like? So, on the BPD side, you have struggling with emotions. And on the autism side, you have struggling with social roles. And that can feel like your emotions and your social interactions are always wrong. Now, with BPD fear of abandonment and autism social exhaustion, you can find yourself wanting connection but needing space at the same time. And impulsivity in BPD and routine preference, meaning you like structure, a constant push and pull between seeking change and needing structure. So imagine feeling like you can't understand social rules, that's autism, while also desperately fearing rejection, that's BPD. You crave a deep connection, but it drains you. And you want to be authentic, but masking is automatic. Your emotions are too much and not enough all at the same time. So, getting the wrong diagnosis can mean getting the wrong kind of support, but now you know what to look for. If this video gave you some clarity, hit like, hit subscribe. It helps more people see it. And drop a comment below if you have any questions about mental health diagnoses. I read every single one, and it'll give me ideas about other videos to make. I'm so glad you joined me today. Take care. Bye.